Hey, Welsh Dragon Metals here. Today I'll be tearing apart a coffee machine. Not quite sure how to open it, as it has no obvious screws, so I'll just probably tear it to pieces. Although I think it does open from the top and the bottom. We will find out. Better angle there. There we go. The water tank. Oh, I found some screws. They are star screws. Quite a few of them. Bottom also comes off. Pretty sure it does anyway. Because there is no obvious screws. Quite brittle plastic. To be a bit stronger on that. You can see some circuitry and stuff inside there. A few screws there. Try and open them with this screwdriver, should be able to. Yep. It won't take too long, this. I was wondering where all the screws were in this thing. Them in the water tank. Anything that I find that's useful. Odd placed screws here. Somewhat difficult to get to. Well, they have to put them by there. Nice thick wire, mains wire here. Should have a good amount of copper inside of that, and the fuse, which is also silver plated. This is actually a high powered piece of equipment, 1000 watt plus. Should be a nice copper coil at the bottom. The water heater. Last two screws. Didn't think there were any screws at all on this. All hiding behind the water tank. This doesn't work anymore. The tank is broken and imperfect and leaks. And the water doesn't heat anyway anymore. And I have tested this thing. Well, I've got all the screws out. Having difficulty opening it. Why is that? So, come straight to that back to it. Whoa. Nice. Oh, surprising amount of circuitry in that. Didn't expect all that to be inside of it. Damn. I was right about the water heater. Got a nice big chunk of aluminium here. Some good components inside of this. Nice little power supply board. Some capacitors, large resistors. So more silver recovery material. Some wire ties here. What's that? Oh, it's the on switch. Some small screws. Quite a surprising amount of screws upon all these, considering I didn't see any at all. All cunningly concealed. Steel, obviously, on all the screws. Copper within the wires, which there seems to be quite a bit of. Curious what else this device holds. You can see some springs in there. Springs are useful. Can be valuable. Huh, that's gold plated, that board, that switch there. Gold recovery materials. Not what I expected inside of a coffee machine. Neat. Not much, but still. That's actually reusable. That switch. And the board. And there's a little LED on there also. Light emitting device or light emitting diode, depending on what you want to use. Doesn't really matter. So we got the water pump here. This is the water pump, which does not work anymore. And here we have the water heater. Should have a copper coil within it. Some piping. That's like PVC surgical tubing stuff. Lots of waste plastic. Got some crimps here. Should be able to get these off. Yep. Could be quite useful. Feel around, everything seems to be crimped in place. Lots of wire ties, more than there should be. Looking for lots of wasteful plastic material. What else do we have? Should be a thermometer in here somewhere, checking the temperature, and that will be it. Yep, that's a thermometer. There, that little thing. Yep, indeed it is. Says so on the circuit board. It's a sort of indication for it. Move that out of the way. Put it with the water tank. Take better pictures of all the salvage out of this, as it is quite dark out here today. Got another thermometer here. Actually, that might be a resistor. No, I think it is in fact another thermometer. Sorry about that. Still quite easily connected, all this though, this device and machinery. Late evening at the moment. Late evening teardown. crimps here. Just sort of pull these off. Quite easy. Some that are screwed in place here. The water heater. Probably an induction heater. So, copper coil. Nope, it is a resistor based heater. I've got the resistors here in my hand. 2 high power resistors. Quite nice. A big aluminium heatsink. Well, that's cheaper than I thought it would be. I figured they would have an actual induction heater in here, not just resistors. Piping's all crimped in place. Trouble removing this crimp. One more. I can't get through there. Let's pull that straight off. There we go. Lots of waste material off this. This is well stuck in here. A nice plastic stopper. Oh. Ooh, quite stuck in there. I have to cut some of the plastic off. I could just do that. Break the entire unit free so I can better access it. Well, those resistors are connected straight up to the mains. Those 2 heating resistors. There is actually a copper coil within on this. I can see the copper soldered into the aluminium housing itself. Seems to be plastic stoppers all the way around it, stopping me freeing the piece itself. Screwdriver. Pry it out. Oh, that's broken. Oh. Break it on this side now. Should be able to free the whole unit. Yay! Freed it. That's a nice chunky weighty thing that is. There's copper coil within it. Soldered in place. Got a nice sized circuit board here. Not screwed in place in any way. Nope, more plastic crimps. It's quite tough, this plastic. Some circuitry up on there. I can see some palladium recovery materials, some solder on top of the capacitors, and some aluminium. More plastic waste. Some high voltage resistors, they're quite helpful and handy. I'll take better pictures of them. Better lighting. More than expected inside of this device. Some piping. Still got that water pump here as well. There's the water pump, the whole thing. Nice and heavy. That's a chunk of steel on there, anodized steel. Yep, there's copper inside of here as well, which is why it's quite heavy. Nice solenoid around here. Power the pump, the action. So I've got the heater and the solenoid pump. There's a spring there, I want to keep that. More piping here on the top, and a bunch of springs. Let's see if I can get to them. Just sort of plastic material. They're all hooked in place. Got a potentiometer here. Actually, that's a 3-pole switch. Yeah. So it was a potentiometer, one of those dials you turn around. Look like from the back. Got some springs here. It's a plastic material. It can be quite difficult to break that. I'll use the plumber's pliers. Break the plastic itself. That way I can get straight to the springs. Nice springs. Sold a few job lots of springs, and actually worth a little bit of money. People use them for remote control parts, for suspension and gearboxes, even toy repair. There's a lot of different uses for springs, obviously. More tubing. Wow, there's like a hell of a lot of materials inside of this coffee machine. Not what I expected. More surgical tubing type stuff. Spring, another one. Lots of springs in this. What were you'd expect? Back to the plumber's pliers. Break it up a bit. Nice. Spring. And where'd the other spring go? Ah, there it is. And some screws. They all came out at once. Fair enough. And the last bit of pipe. When I get to that. It's also crimped in place. Nothing remarkably interesting in there. Is there? Nope. We're good. It's just more plastic waste. Oh, got all that material out of it. Damn. That's more than I expected. Got all this stuff. Got a nice circuit board there. Power supply. Quite a bit of solder on there, a little bit of palladium. Also got some high voltage capacitors and electrolytic capacitors, some silver plated connectors. That gold plated button there, it's actually got gold plating underneath it. Guess it will be the main used part. Nice thick plug, lots of copper. There's high voltage resistors. These originally heated the water along with this massive heat sink and the coil within it for pumping the hot water through. So it got very hot indeed at some point, this chunk of aluminium. Quite weighty. And we also have the large solenoid pump here, solenoid based pump. 53 watts, 1.5. So, quite strong a pump at that. It's quite heavy. Should be quite a bit of copper within that. So lots of good scrap within there, surprisingly. Well, night is closing in. So winter's night. Quite nice. Well, to the next teardown.